Hello friends, it's Dave here from SaveDex, bringing to you another Nintendo Switch review. Today I'm looking at a game called In My Shadow, which releases on the 25th of September. This game caught my eye on the eShop the other week, and it kind of reminded me of Shady Part of Me, a game that I previously reviewed last year and absolutely loved it. The developers were very kind to supply me with a review code, so thank you very much for that. Also, thank you to everyone who has helped us to pass 1,200 subscribers. It really does mean a lot to us, so if you want to join the party, you just need to click that red button below. So, let's shed some light on what this game is like. So in this game you take control of Bella, or rather her shadow, a young woman who is trying to confront the memories of her past. This game is essentially a puzzle platformer, although I found this game has a bigger emphasis on the puzzle aspect rather than the platforming. You need to move furniture and change the size of the shadow it casts in order to traverse the stage, and also to complete the level you need to collect all of the memories on the way. The controls are simple. You can press the Y button to switch control between the shadow or of the furniture. When moving the furniture, you're not actually controlling a person to push it around like I've seen in other games, but rather the furniture itself is in your control. The furniture area is made up of a grid-like floor with an isometric view, and you can move the furniture in 4 different directions, although some will only be able to be moved in 2 directions. Possible furniture movement is helpfully indicated by arrows. The furniture casts a shadow on the wall, so you need to move them in such a way that helps your shadow person traverse the level, using their shadows as platforms. The game takes into account the position of the furniture in relation to the light source to make things bigger and smaller. This makes for some obviously good puzzle aspects, and it gets particularly interesting after the first room, where you move between 2 different walls, so each bit of furniture casts 2 different shadows. When you are controlling the furniture, you just use the analog stick or D-pad to move, and L and R to switch between which item you are manipulating. Furniture consists mostly of chairs, tables and boxes, chairs being the most interesting as you can rotate them with the right stick. This can create different shapes and additional platforms based on the angle you're looking at the seat and the top of the chair. You can switch between your shadow and the furniture at any time with the Y button, as I've said, and when you're playing as your shadow, you simply use the analog stick or D-pad to move and the B button to jump. If you were to switch back to the furniture midway traversing the level, your shadow will warp back to where it started, so you have to do that level in one go. This is the basic premise of the game. There are 4 rooms which act as worlds, and they all have multiple levels in each. And looking at the layout of this room select screen just makes me think of a show called Finders Keepers. Any British kids my age probably remember that one. So this puzzle platformer game has a short bite-sized level structure to it, and although you'll be playing the same walls over again, each time you do, the furniture given to manipulate and the hazards that appear will change, making the ability to progress more difficult as you go. Hazards you can find include buzzsaws and spikes, and sometimes those spikes move. When it comes to navigating the level, this is where the game sadly falls short, as the game's controls can be a bit finicky. When jumping, your character jumps the same height whether you tap the B button or hold it down, which doesn't really give you a good feeling of momentum. This is why I think the game leans more towards puzzle than platforming, as there's no depth to the platforming mechanics. And that's not a bad thing in itself, as the lack of flexibility in the jumping could be a design choice if there is a specific puzzle solution for each level. But I didn't get that impression from the way I was solving these levels. A lot of it comes down to trial and error, and I would end up moving the furniture a tiny bit, trying to traverse it with the shadow, and when I can't get any further, I would go back to manipulating the furniture just a tiny bit, make something a bit bigger, move it to the right a bit, try platforming again because it looks like I could do it now, and then back and forth, back and forth. The controls could be a little inconsistent here. Sometimes I could make a jump onto a table as the shadow, and then the next time I try I can't reach that high at all, even though I haven't even changed where that table is in the furniture manipulation. But what makes this more frustrating is how inconsistent these controls could be while moving the furniture itself. The furniture could easily get stuck on other bits, but sometimes they'll just get stuck on nothing and they don't move the way I want them to. And there doesn't seem to be just one way to beat a level each time, which of course is not a bad thing. It gives you options of what to do. but a lot of the time when completing a level, it just felt like I wasn't doing it the intended way. Instead of feeling satisfied at solving the puzzle, I just felt like I'd managed to cheese my way through it. And one example of why I think this way is quite a few levels I didn't use all of the furniture provided. The game tells the story with still images in the cutscenes with text. You get a sense of the characters and what they have been going through, but the character models do look quite basic. But there are some nice colours used and it does the job. I do like the lighting effects, especially when it comes to changing the size of the objects, and although there is no voice acting, you do get a feel of the characters through the emotional music score through piano renditions. These can be quite soothing, but also make you feel a little sad. The game costs £10.99, €11.99 or $12, but it has a 15% discount before launch. For this, you are getting more than 50 levels, and it'll probably take most people about 3 to 4 hours to beat. And I feel this price, even with the discount, is a bit too high for what you are getting here. And although I do enjoy the smaller bite-sized levels, I feel that due to the controls and the lack of satisfaction I got from most levels, it didn't provide me with as good an experience as I would have liked. I would say go for it if it was half price and you like the look of it from this footage, but given its shortcomings, it wasn't enjoyable enough for me to warrant this price. Overall, I do really like the concept of this game. The presentation, although quite basic, does do the job. The music I really did like, but I found the controls did let it down, and the lack of strategy needed to complete levels did leave me wanting more. So that's what I thought of In My Shadow. What do you think though? Is this something you've had your eye on? Think you'd enjoy it more than I did? I mean, it's certainly possible. So let me know down below, and make sure you click that like and subscribe button for plenty more to come into the future. Thank you so much for watching everyone. See you in the next one.